every now and then, I get the most beautiful souls contact me and ask if they're able to work with me or have a session with me so that I can confirm to them if they are on the right path, if they can trust themselves, and if they can trust the beings that they are channeling and the messages that they are receiving. And that is something that I can do. But what I choose to do is empower people in a way that is so much more aligned to them so that they are sovereign. So what I choose to do is get to the root cause of what is actually having them not trust themselves and their channel and their beings that, and their mission and their path and the beings that they are connecting with in the first place. Because there's nothing more disempowering than needing to rely on something or someone outside of you so that you trust the beings, the guides that you're working with, or so that you trust your intuition, or so that you trust the path that you have chosen. Because the moment that you rely on something or someone outside of you to show you what is right or wrong, it means that you're potentially putting that person on a pedestal, and everyone that you put on a pedestal eventually will make their way to the pit, because that's what happens with pedestal and with pedestaling people. So it's about getting to the core, to the root cause of what has you not trust you in the first place, and knowing that no matter what path you take, there is no wrong path. There is no such thing as failure. Every single path that you choose, it's going to lead home. All paths lead home. And the path that you choose, if something that may feel like something went wrong, it means that you're learning a lesson. It means that you're experiencing the polarity of, let's say, fear, so that you can truly experience the opposite of that, which is trust. So in 2023 to 2024, I went through an excruciating, painful spiritual awakening where I experienced psychosis. And the pain was huge. I had anxiety. I experienced the anxiety. I experienced depression. I would cry for days like somebody had died. And that opened my heart to levels of compassion and love for other humans that I've never experienced before. When I would have sessions with clients and they would tell me things that had happened in their lives, I always held it together really well. Never felt like crying hearing a sad story or someone's, traumatizing story. After I went through that experience, every time I get a little bit emotional. I'm not crying, but I'm like, I feel it in my heart because I experienced that depth of pain. So all paths lead home. And when you are on a path that is not leading you home faster, or that it's not feeling in full alignment, because your soul will be calling you for more. Your soul will be asking you for more. You will be feeling anxious. You will be feeling depressed. You will be questioning yourself, questioning your life. There will be lack of joy. You won't sleep well. You won't eat well. You won't care to look after yourself well so much. And there will be a lot of self-sabotage. In my case, I used to sabotage myself with alcohol. And I just really didn't like my life. I was working in a job that I didn't like. I think some jobs are amazing. Always like to clarify this because working in jobs, 9 to 5 jobs is fine. In my case, it was absolutely killing my soul. So when I would go out on weekends, I would binge drink alcohol. I just really disliked my life. I really disliked the path I was on. It made absolutely no sense that I worked at a job 9 to 5 and I would have 1 month per year holidays. Made no sense. How am I going to visit my family in Brazil? How am I going to enjoy a holiday, travel the world, visit my family? It just made no sense. And I didn't feel fulfilled because I wasn't helping people, which has always been the dream of my life. And it's never late. I feel like I did relatively early, but it was way after I went to university and had lots of jobs when I was 35 years old. That was almost 80 years ago when I decided to go part-time on my job and doing some studies related to holistic health and counseling and healing. And here I am today. So it took a while. That was 8 years ago. I never ever dared to give up. I listened to the nudges of my soul, even when it made no sense to my mind, because at the time I was offered a higher paying job position in my job. So obviously to the rational mind, it will make no sense, but it made all the sense to me, to my heart. It wasn't in my mind. I hope this is making sense, beautiful souls. I know that there's some of you here that are live, and there's something else that I wanted to share with you today. I want you to know that you don't need to be a channeler, a psychic, a medium. You don't have to have gifts and abilities that are blown open, where you are experiencing everything, where you have all the clairs activated. The moment that you fully honor that the gifts that you have, ironically, they start to expand. So if you're more of a knowing and a feeling person, feel it in your body, or you know it in your heart, which are the two most common ones. The more you nourish that and more you believe that without saying things like, maybe it was just my imagination. Please know that imagination is the portal of creation. Imagination is the portal that allows you to fully access your intuition. And for some of you that are feeling and a knowing person, when you allow your imagination to become part of your creation experience, and you fully trust that, and you nourish that, and you love that, instead of comparing, oh, I wish I was like Rubia and I could trans-channel, for example, then your intuitive gifts stop opening. And ironically, you may start actually channeling and trans-channeling. It has happened to tens of people who worked with me. So when you do that, also what happens is the universe starts to show you synchronistic signs. So everything in your life starts to talk to you. You start to create, you start to deeply connect with the quantum field of all that is and of your existence, and you start to co-create with your reality. And your reality starts to talk to you through repetitive numbers, through a conversation with a friend, through you opening up your social media and there's a video for you, through you turning on the radio and there's a song for you. I remember years and years ago when I was questioning whether I would quit my job or not to do this full time, I turned on the radio. It was back in the day, when I don't think I even had I had the one of those old school radios in my car. Oh, that was such a long time ago, about 10 years ago. And the song that came on was, don't you worry, child, see, heaven's got a plan for you. And how could I ignore that? How could I ignore that? And I didn't. And many, many times I would see one step at a time. I would see one step, I would take that step, things would happen, then I would see the next one. Because that's another thing, it's not going to be perfectly laid out for us. Otherwise, what would be the point of being here? What would be the point if we knew everything? The purpose of being on earth, there's a mystery in taking human form and being here, having this incredibly amazing, loving, simultaneously painful experience. So when you do that, the universe will speak to you. And the universe may be speaking to you through me right now, for you to listen to those nudges and take aligned action. Because if you listen to the nudges and you don't take aligned action, that's where nothing happens. Don't wait for the right moment. Don't wait for the moment where it feels comfortable, because it will not feel comfortable. The amount of times that I took action and I felt like I needed a bucket right beside me so I could vomit because I felt anxiety, because I felt fear, because I felt, oh my God, what if it doesn't work out? I recently, many of you may have seen, I launched Starseed Retreat. It's a contact retreat. Our beautiful star family is going to happen in Bali end of June. And it was full download and transmission that came through to me to do it. But I wasn't shown if it was going to work out, if people were going to sign up, if we were going to sell enough tickets to even cover the cost of the retreat. None of that stuff was shown to me. But what was shown to me is that it was full alignment with my soul, and that it was in full alignment to support humanity at the highest at this time. And so many incredible, beautiful things are unfolding as a result of me listening to the nudge of my soul. And I have gone through stages of fear, and now quite a few beautiful souls have already joined, and there are a few tickets to go. And I am so grateful because it has brought up things to the surface inside of me that I wasn't aware that they were there. There were certain fears that I didn't know were there, that I had already worked on. And there was also this inspiration, this power, this strength. And because I've stepped into the arena on this really high level, because doing a retreat is it's a high level initiation. I have also been connecting with the most beautiful, incredible souls that have been coming on my path. Literally, I went to an event by myself, and the people I connected with there that I've never connected with before, it was mind-blowing. The conversations that we were having and the pieces that were coming through. And I want to touch on the piece about imagination. If you ever feel any shame or anything around, oh, but what if it's my imagination? I want you to know that there's a programming around imagination. Humanity has been programmed to see imagination as something that is made up, that it's not real. And that is such a matrix programming to keep everyone, all humans and humanity, stuck. Because imagination is the portal of creation. When you connect with that and you stop saying, I imagined, as in I made this up, your channel opens. And so much more is able to come through your channel, to come through your third eye, to come through your visions. And you will see signs that are right in front of your face, but you may be ignoring because you're like, that's imagination. That's not real. It's not real. But the moment that you do, literally, magic happens. Thank you, beautiful souls. For those of you here that are here live, just tune in. There's one more message for you. Everything that happens in your life, if you feel like this is painful, why is this happening to me? Are things going to improve or feel better? I want you to know that you keep going and accept where you are, because then it means that you are accepting all parts of yourself. It's a gift to you and your soul for you to accept when you are going through a dark night of the soul or the human, as some like to say, a spiritual awakening, a kundalini awakening, a midlife crisis or a life crisis. When you're going through that, honor the season that you're in. Because just like the planet, we go through seasons as well. Honor the season that you're in, because that season is going to give you so many golden nuggets. It's going to teach you so much. It's going to show so much about who you are, and it's going to give you a lot more depth, because you are experiencing so much pain. It will give you access to love and compassion and acceptance and forgiveness that you've never experienced before going through that. And I say this from personal experience. When I went through a spiritual awakening, all of the above, in mid-2023 to mid-2024, there was a period of time that I was going through excruciating, painful depression and anxiety. And it wasn't like a beach walk or a breathwork journey that was going to help me feel better. It was deep. And in that, I also experienced psychosis, because it was a result of taking psychedelics. And I'm very open, so watch out. Be careful. Oh, watch out. Be careful. And I had to sit with my pain for months. And that was a gift to me. Because when I experienced psychosis and literally losing my mind, I had to lose my mind to truly find my heart. And in that process of losing my mind, I realized I could really see the very distinct difference between channeling and between losing your mind. Because there were times that I thought, maybe I'm just crazy. At the start of my journey as a channeler and all the psychic things that I ignored for many, many, many years, for decades. Maybe I would just think that I was just crazy. And going through psychosis, I was like, wow, it's very, very different. And I would be afraid of doing the activations, the galactic shamanic activations that I do, that people receive. And sometimes people can receive that. And some people have compared. They said it felt like I was in a ayahuasca ceremony without taking ayahuasca. It's mind blowing. It pierces through you, and it's incredibly healing and powerful. And it can trigger some sort of awakening. And I had fear. So I was holding myself back, and I was holding my mission back right up until the start of 2024. I've been doing it for a few years, but I held back. And when I experienced one of the most painful things that I feel like a human could experience, there was no way out because I was stuck inside of my mind. And I would never do that again. I would never say yes to experience like that before, but it did indeed change my life. And it changed how I support humanity and how I show up for myself and for my mission. I really hope that this transmission today served you in some way, shape, or form. I felt really guided, and I knew that there was something here for some of you to receive. And if you're feeling the call, I would like to finish this live with inviting you to come and join us in Bali from the 28th of June to the 2nd of July for the Starseed Contact Retreat. It's going to be absolutely mind-blowing. We're going to have galactic shamanic activations, trans-channeling with the Arcturians, live sound healing. We're going to go to a water temple and receive a water healing. And we're going to be doing a lot of processes. So it's going to be a full-blown quantum leap. You're going to leave that place. You're going to have jumped timelines. And we have a 6-week container with 3 sessions afterwards, 3 bi-weekly sessions afterwards, or fortnightly sessions, for you to integrate all the gifts that you receive, because it will be super powerful. And it's going to be organic food and a group of like-minded souls. We already have quite a few souls that joined, and it's such a beautiful, incredible group. We're going to be connecting with each other, doing processes, and experiencing plant medicine without needing to take plant medicine. How exciting! Anyway, beautiful souls, if you like to join, make sure that you message me so we can have a chat. If you are in Australia, you can get finance. So there are no excuses. And the moment that you commit to yourself and you say yes to the things that are calling you, you commit to a new timeline. So if you've been feeling the call to Starseed and you've been calling in a new timeline, make sure that you say yes to whatever that is, if that's Starseed or if that's something else, so that you can step into that timeline. It won't happen before action is taken. I'm sending you all so much love. Mwah.